Hello Tiger friends, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And today was Max Effort Press Day. So remember, for those of you who watch these videos every day, please click like down below. We have not been keeping the likes higher than the dislikes every day, and only you guys can do that. So reach down and click like. Today, yeah, that looks awkward. I am doing the football bar with chains. I ended up getting actually a lower PR than I thought I would too. So people would say, Jason, why do that? You guys remember what I did to build all my squatting and deadlifting and everything else before? I did a lot of really weird, awkward variations. This is my fun day. And I'm trying to do, because I know with the press itself, as someone who's hit pretty good presses in the past, I know that it is about grooving. And basically there's a transition point to where you have to drive through. And by dealing with these different awkward loads, I hit that transition point and I do stuff like the football bar or chains that try to pull you out of that groove, because it's right about the forehead level where you tend to stick. And I try to force to drive through. I'm learning to grind and strain through the most awkward point that's even there for a straight bar. And the whole idea is that eventually I'll just get good at pushing through there, finding my weak links. I need more triceps though. My triceps are struggling to push through there. And that's okay, so we know that. And as long as I keep grinding and hitting hard, difficult overhead presses, it will carry over to my press. Just like I did all that with the squat, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere I squat 522, then 552, right? Be the same thing with the overhead press, because then in the meantime we hypertrophy all the muscles around it. And the thing is, I'm really not worried about missing overhead press lifts or grinding on it, because I have no fatigue. They're not like bigger lifts, because you're using such a light weight. I don't feel any fatigue at all after I do it. I can just go in and just hammer out volume. So it lets me mess with some really awkward lifts, some fun stuff. And so I'm going to rotate through things. And that's the beauty of it. I have 3 different barbells that I can overhead press with. I can put chains on. I can do whatever I want. And the weird stuff that I have, it tends to always pull you out of your groove at the normal sticking point. And that's the fascinating thing. So it will teach me to learn to push through that spot. So when I go back to a normal straight bar, we'll stop missing it. And of course we need to hypertrophy all the muscles of it. And the beauty of this day is that there's a lot of carryover to my bench pressing as far as the hypertrophy goes. So started off with my incline bench with the football bar, which is also incidentally one of my accessories for the flat bench. But that's the thing, I realize I need incline strength. Incline strength will help me with my bench, it'll help me with my overhead press, so I do it on both days. Right? I use it as a primary assistance on press day, and I use it as a second hypertrophy exercise on my bench day. And the interesting thing was, I pushed through really well on it today. I did 10 and pause on the last rep for each one, and they felt challenging. It felt like I had a couple reps in reserve. Then I got to the last set, managed to crank out like 12. So that tells me I can keep pushing forward on this, right? It tells me I can keep pushing forward. Because when I did it on bench day, I think this last time I cut one set out. I'm like, man, I'm not doing 5 sets, I'm doing 4. Because it felt really challenging. Well, doing it as a main lift after a missed overhead press, that 5th set, I was able to not only do it, but get 2 more reps. Means I can start micro loading this up higher. I can start adding fractional plates, keep getting stronger at this lift. And again, the other beauty of it with the football bar, it's very easy on the shoulder joints. I feel this tremendously through the entire upper half of my chest and my front delts. And honestly, today I got a lot of medial tricep. I really felt my medial triceps light up on it, because I really focused on locking hard. Notice I'm trying to explode as hard as I can and drive through to that lockout all the way through. I noticed I really got some good medial head of the tricep really lit up, in addition to feeling my chest and front delts. So that medial head carries over to your bench a lot. Not so much the overhead press, but definitely bench. So it's getting a lot done. Happy with the exercise. I feel like I'll keep getting stronger at it. Like I said, in a perfect world, I'll be inclined to 225 for sets of 10, but I think I'll be pretty good then. I bumped the weight on the press today. You can't see the small plates. The beauty of it, I managed to get at least 12 reps. I managed to get 12 reps on every set. Now, last couple of sets, in order to hit that 12 reps, I had to do a little rest pausing. But we got there. So we're getting stronger on this, because I've been hitting like 15. I'm like, let me go up 10 pounds, which I did. Put 10 pounds of small plates on the side. Managed to get 5 by 12. Okay, that's more tension. And honestly, I could let those reps go a little lower because I'm doing a lot of high rep stuff with the face pulls. I don't necessarily need to be hitting super high reps on this overhead press. I mean, I want to keep it above 10. I don't want to go under 10. But I could start loading it up like that and keep bringing the weight up and keep to where I'm getting at least 5 by 10. As long as I'm keeping all the sets above 10, we're good. So I'll keep adding a little bit of weight, keep getting stronger at it. But I really like this axle bar. Like the axle bar for my overhead pressing, mainly because not only do I feel all the same muscles of the normal press, I feel a little more tricep. Okay, I know I need more tricep for close grip benching, which is what I'm going to do for now for my max work. I know that triceps seem to be a weak link right at my sticking point on the press, which is right when you get to about the forehead, right? Driving through that when I hit a heavy press, when I hit that 225 the other day, was really difficult. So again, it's addressing a lot of weak points to go ahead and use this bar. In addition, it just makes you grip the bar harder. It's just good for your hands and forearms in general. So I'm really digging the axle bar. So I'm going to use it again for a while for my volume overhead pressing, keep using it for rows, obviously. It's helped my grip phenomenally. But yeah, so we're progressing on all this stuff. Like I'll be able to add a micro plate to the incline, I think, even when I do it on bench day, even though it's going to be the second exercise. Feel like I can probably get away with that in a microplate. I'm going to try. Overhead press, I can keep loading it. I'm going to keep micro loading it up a bit. As long as I can keep it at least 10 reps will be good. And since I hit 5 by 12, even adding weight, because I have been doing about 15s, I feel like I've got wiggle room. In fact, if I just kind of extrapolate the math, I could probably add 5 pounds and still hit 10s. But I'm just going to kind of use the micro plates. I'm going to take it up very, very slowly, use the fractional plates. Just keep trying to get stronger at all this stuff. But that's what's happening. You know, even when I'm missing PRs or missing big lifts these days because I'm biting off more than I can chew, we are PRing on the supplemental work. And that's the important thing. And people need to remember that as long as you are getting stronger and stronger on all these supplemental volume lifts, you're adding reps, adding weight, your big lifts will go up. Okay. We hit those singles to learn how to strain, to learn how to grind, to develop intramuscular coordination, to hit maxes. All this other stuff is where we build the strength base. So again, PRs on both of those things today. I mean, technically, sort of, even though I added weight and lost reps, I'm still well above the rep range. It's ideal. Like I'm above my minimum. These went good today too. Like I took 4 of these sets to failure. The first set I didn't. I ended up getting like 16, but remember I added weight. I managed to squeeze out about 15 on all the other sets, and then when I tried rep 16, I failed each time. I managed to get rep 16 or 17 on the first one, and maybe on the final set, the 5th set, I might have only got like 14. So, you know, again, these are pretty high. I can probably add a hair of weight. I just want to make sure it stays above 10. And I'm not even as worried about getting really high reps because I'm doing my band press downs. At least 1 set every day, just doing some triceps every day because I need more tricep. Right? And it's good for my tendons, easy to recover from. So I do the band curls and the band triceps every day. I do some grip training almost every day. I do reverse hyper every day. That's all done off camera. But again, we are getting stronger at the tricep exercises. Right? It's gone up a hair, and I'm PRing on the presses first. So that matters because my triceps should technically be more fatigued going into it, which means all the tricep work is slowly paying off. My triceps are getting stronger. We could argue they may not be a weak link right now on my closed grip press, my max, but my bench press in general is my weak link. It's my weakest lift. So triceps still play a role, and I know they're a weak link in my overhead press. If the overhead press goes up, the bench will go up. And yes, I know it's a bizarre way to look at things, but that way of thinking actually does work. Because when you get stronger at different supplemental lifts to main lifts, you tend to get stronger at your main lifts too. And again, it's just about muscle mass in the right places. And people forget that. You can't change your bone structure. You can't change your leverages. The only thing you can change is your ability to strain and grind, your technique, and your muscle. Now, every single drop of available scientific evidence looking at lifters tells us 90% of your strength is from your muscle mass. That's it. You cannot change that. other than in novices. When you're no longer a novice is what I'm talking about. When you're an advanced lifter, a pound of muscle is worth a tremendous strength increase. Like adding a pound of muscle as an advanced lifter is not just 10 pounds on your squat. So people need to understand that. Putting a pound of muscle on your lower body could be worth 30 or 40 pounds on your squat. 50 pounds on your squat. Right? So muscle contributes everything. Once you know how to max, once you have a high neuromuscular efficiency, you have intramuscular coordination, your strength's going to come from your size. The only reason it's different from person to person, small amount is muscle fiber distribution, and I mean a very small amount, and the rest is bone structure and levers. Okay, that's it. Not to downplay levers, but you can't change your personal levers, so it's irrelevant. But tricep extensions went good. Everything went good on them. So, I mean, it's been a good PR day as far as this stuff goes. Even though the overhead press was less than impressive, was also with the most awkward bar and while using chains. I didn't expect to get a big lift. I thought I might have been able to get, 10 pounds heavier than what I failed. But, it is what it is. It just shows how awkward that sticking point can be, because I had to grind against it. And it just kind of pulled me out of my groove. But that's the idea. I'm doing lifts that intentionally misgroove you on purpose, because I want to try to pull back into it. Yeah, I want to try to pull back into it on that lift and learn to stay in it. But it also exposes my weaknesses. Again, my triceps were stronger. My triceps were stronger, I would have pushed through and got that lift in spite of the misgroove, wouldn't I? So we come over to that point when people even use that term. Well, maybe you should have just been stronger. In that case, I needed more tricep strength. I went up to a heavier band today for face pulls. Again, tension. I managed to get at least 15 to 18 reps on every set, even with the next heavier band. Okay, felt like the other band was too light. I really need to get some tension there. Even when we're going to do really high reps like this, tension is still going to matter in the long term. And since I don't do any low reps from my rear delts and all that area, probably not a bad idea to get some tension added. Because, I'm doing 15s even with the Pendlay rows. Now, the overhead pressing, again, we are adding more. And with the standing press, there is some side delt activation and things. There is some. Not as much as the face pulls will give. So we increased tension really in a slightly reduced rep range on all my delt work today, really. As far as at least the side and the rear. Because, again, tension matters. It absolutely matters. Not saying various rep ranges don't help, they do, and I've explained that recently, that using different rep ranges can be beneficial to you. But we should generally see an increase in tension across the board also, if we want to really grow. So that's what we did today. So even though the PR was less than I wanted, I still hit a grinder, was still able to strain, still forced myself to strain, right? We PR'd supplemental work. And at the end of the day, it is the supplemental work that will build those maxes. Okay, it'll build those maxes. I'm going to keep getting stronger day by day by day, because we are growing if we're PRing on that stuff. It's a matter of eating enough food, getting enough rest. And yes, my food and rest is pretty ridiculous. So we're doing everything right. I'm definitely recovering because I'm PRing on volume work. So we just have to keep moving forward, keep hitting PRs, keep grinding against big lifts, not get hurt. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.